now we're going to talk about modifying the cells a little bit more. You have hopefully clicked on the button to create a copy of the practice spreadsheet. So yours should be looking like mine. And we're going to go ahead and kind of change some of the things up here. So to start with, we're going to talk about deleting some cells or rows or columns. And then we're going to talk about changing the width. So what I've given you here is something that I used to use. It does have some similar formatting to a website that I found the other day, just that it has the color and this address column. The rest of the information is actually from my homeroom class when I was still in the classroom. So what we're going to showcase here is, in this instance, I don't think that I need the address column. So I'm going to highlight column B, and if I just hit the delete here, it doesn't get rid of column B, it just gets rid of the data within column B. So for example, if I hit the delete button, it just gets rid of the data, which is not necessarily what I want to do here. So instead, what I want to do is go up here to edit, and then I want to come down here to where it says delete column B, and that's just going to get rid of the entire column, which is awesome. Now, this digital addiction test is similar to digital footprints, and I don't need it to be this wide. This is crazy that this column is this wide because now I can't see my other content happening over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to these side bars. I don't know how else to describe that. And we're going to press and hold and drag to reshape the size of this particular column. And I want it to be about equal to the other ones. Now I can see the entire sheet. I would like for you to go ahead and go over here to column I because we don't have any data there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that just like we did before, just to show you that one more time. Okay, so we've modified all of the columns. I can read everything. That looks pretty good. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to show you how to auto size your column. And all you have to do for that is to double click, as you see me doing here, on the area. I kind of want that a little bit bigger because Chromebook I don't want it messed with. But I can auto size it by just double clicking on that particular line or area. So that to me feels pretty good. You also can modify the height of your rows by going over to the side and dragging them up or dragging them down. In this instance, the font that I have on Digital Citizenship and Chromebook Checkout is large, so I can't make it any thinner than this, but I can make it a little bit wider if I feel like I like that. So keeping that in mind. And you can do the same auto size too with that. The other thing you can think about doing too is this box here in the corner auto selects all of the entire sheet. So you can change or format everything to be a specific font choice or size, or if you want to make sure that all of your text is wrapping, right? Instead of I hate the overflow. Personally, I like to wrap my text. So if I find that any of my stuff automatically is defaulting to overflow, I will highlight the entire sheet and then go over here to the wrap portion to just wrap the entire content. Okay, then if you notice once you've created this and you would like to insert a column here, you can go up here to insert and add a column to the left or the right. It already notices that I've highlighted a column, but if I highlight a row and go back up to insert, it knows that I'm asking for a row to be inserted above or below. Oh, and you can also right click to do those things too. So if I right click, I can insert one above or insert one below. I can also delete rows or clear the data from the row. Or here's another one, you can hide the row. And I often hide columns. I wouldn't say I ever hide rows per se, but like when I do Google Forms, they all have a timestamp, and oftentimes I don't necessarily need the timestamp. So I will hide the column of the timestamp quite a bit so that it's just not in my face as I'm trying to grade different pieces because I don't need it all the time. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was, we talked about wrapping the cell. Oh, let's talk about merging the cells. So I'm going to go back up here to the top section, and I would like I don't want to see these little lines right here. So I'm going to merge this entire top row so that I have a nice, pretty title section. So I'm going to go right here to this merge cell and click that, and then it's going to see, I mean, that looks so nice. Let's just stop and take a moment. Like, your spreadsheets don't have to be ugly, people. Let's just be real. Okay, so then you can, this is still selected. So I can, using the drop-down feature, unmerge the cells and go back. But I like the merge cell option there. Okay, another thing that you can do is to freeze a section. So in this instance, you've got your nice title row, and then you have your the titles of your columns, and that's pretty important to understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to where it says view, and we're going to go to the freeze category, and because we're on row 2, we actually want to say freeze the first 2 rows. Boom. So now as I scroll through, because I have quite a few kids in my homeroom, right? Now my titles of my columns don't move. They stayed there. Easy to read and to see, because I've frozen them, and I can see the rest of my kids' information. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about, you can do the same thing with columns, by the way. So if you've gone opposite direction and you've got your titles over here, you want to freeze this column for whatever reason, you're going to do the same process. View, freeze, up to 1 row or whatever. So keeping that in mind.